goody, y'all. It's goody, y'all. Thank you for joining me for another installment of Gabbing with Goody Gabor. Let's get into it. What's goody is goody. Out of curiosity, just want to know real quick, do y'all want me to show my face in these? Should I be on camera? I'm not quite sure. Y'all will let me know. That said, let's get into it. And we are back with Season 7, Episode 5, Secrets, Snow Cones, and Scuffles. We start off with Brianna. She's in rehearsal mode. She has a band. She sounds good. I love the content, what she's singing about. Sequoia comes to see her, and again, I love this relationship. I love the way it's blooming in front of us. Sequoia comes to see her. They get to talking. Brianna asked her if she wanted to sing with her band. Sequoia's like, I never sang with a band, so I think that would be cute for them. Sequoia is again in awe of all of Brianna's talents because Brianna does her own nails. Like, Brianna, to me, is like a regular schmegular girl who just does the things she needs done for herself. But I digress. Brianna mentions that she's going to throw an event. She's going to invite everyone. She says that she squashed her issue with Cree, but she's leery because Cree is unstable. Now, I don't think Cree is so much unstable so much as she's a flip-flopper. In any event, Sequoia mentions that she doesn't like how Cree came at her at the skate key because, again, if you recall, Cree was talking to her about how she should be happy, her mother's finding a better kind of love, and their parents are in the spotlight. I want to stop right there and kind of remind everyone, let's reset things. Sequoia's parents were married. It might have been a bad marriage, but they were married. They were together, and at least for the children, I'm imagining they showed a united front. Cree's parents do not seem to have liked each other much past their sexual relations and having a child. They don't talk. Mind you, if you take a step back, Tiny and JoJo Haley have had the discussion about Tiny's new relationship. They have a friendship outside of their relationship. It sucks that it didn't last, but that's what that is. Cree doesn't have that. Cree's parents didn't have that. That's the significant difference. So for Cree to open her mouth and kind of lecture someone who she's not cool with like that, it's a little off-putting. So Sequoia mentions that, it did put her off a bit, but they're all willing to hang out and see where it goes. Bree and Sequoia want to have a discussion with Cree to be like, the way you come at us sometimes is off-putting. We'll see where that goes. We get to see what JoJo's been working on in LA. Apparently, he is working on a cannabis content company, and things have been going good. His business partner is saying that, cannabis is making a lot of money, the business is making money, and they need JoJo to move to LA. Denise wants to move to LA. JoJo is considering it. He's looking at houses. However, he hasn't told Denise yet. Why hasn't he told Denise? Because he's taking the wrong approach to this. Denise is not a child. She is your life partner. She is not going to be disappointed if you look at houses and it doesn't work out. JoJo's taking the wrong approach to this. His business partner has an idea that that's the case. Another thing I notice, and it's like a little nuanced, but it cannot be easy being Rev Run's child on TV because the business partner was about to roll up and JoJo got a bit excited, but I note that JoJo did not touch any of that flour while the cameras was rolling. So, interesting scene. This is how bad ideas start. Yeah, JoJo, you should have your wife to the mat from the inception of your thought. We'll see how this goes. Ooh, now Sam is in the studio, and I'm going to have to admit something. I don't hate the song that he was working on. That was him, like the drill song. That was going hard, and he's in the studio. Lazy and Easy come to see him. Uh, he's playing some songs for them. They do not sound bad. Like he played the drill song that was playing when they walked in, and it sounded like it had teeth. Like, I wouldn't 100% say it's a no. Look, Lazy says that it has, that it's cool. Lazy mentions that he digs it. Uh, Sam starts letting them know that this might be his last year working on music. He lets them know that he would love to be on tour. Well, he lets us know in his confessional he would love to be on tour, but no one's giving him an opportunity. He is happy Egypt's on tour, but to me, it sounds good. He's saying all of the right things, and I think he's saying all of the right things because the jig is up, and he's noting that Tretch is taking a stance with him. He's noting that Pepper is taking a stance with him, and although Egypt is not as hip to the game as she should be, he knows that it's just a matter of time before she figures out what her family's been trying to tell her. Again, Tretch has let her know that, or rather, Tretch has let Sam know that he needs to bring TT back into the fold. We already know TT's stance on all things Sam. So, that's how it is. He's pretending that he's going to give up music. He wants people to tell him not to give up. And I don't think he should give up music. I think he should give up riding in on music on Egypt's back. He's talented, not the most talented. Definitely not Quincy Jones like Lazy said, but he's talented. They get to talking about his trial, and it turns out that he had an AK, I think an Act 47 on him. Like, what? I'm not a gun aficionado, but sounds like he was moving with heavy artillery. That's a no-no. They're asking him why he even had that. He looks at Lil Easy on some, well, your dad used to have it, and Easy and Lazy both look at him like, fam, you are not Easy E. Like, you don't need to move with all of that. That's a little bit nuts. He also lets them know he wants to have the hip hop snow cone business, to which Easy is like, fam, you got children with a child on the way. I'm not quite sure this is the right approach for you. He doesn't say it to him per se, but he does say it in the confessional. Interesting scene. Lazy does ask Sam to perform for the 50th year in hip hop tribute. Maybe that'll give him his opportunity to do something for himself by himself. I don't know. My takeaway from this is Sam is moping that he's not on the tour. He's trying to say the things that he believes Egypt's team, i.e. her family, want to hear. He's a bit scared because he realizes that he may have messed up the golden ticket. And that's what I take away from this. Easy going to get him his screen time, child, because he down to the realtor looking at a house with JoJo. And the house is beautiful, as it would be. It's in a nice neighborhood, just enough rooms. Everything looks great. The real estate agent does what real estate agents do and is like, oh, if you don't put money down on this now, if you don't make an offer now, you're going to lose it because my phone's blowing up and everyone wants this property. And as you know, in LA, the real estate is crazy. And so JoJo puts an offer in. It's a bad idea to put an offer in on a house that you have not seen with your wife. It's a bad idea to want to replicate some movie, romantic movie theme where you surprise your wife with a house. That does not work. It probably didn't work then, but there weren't a lot of women ideas on TV back in the days when June Cleaver was told this is the house you finna live in. So, yeah, that was a bad idea, JoJo. Cree and Vanessa meet for a cute little lunch, and clearly this is a blossoming friendship as well. I don't think I love it as much as I love the Sequoia and Bree friendship, because I personally think it's Cree believing that she is more like the Simmons than she is like anyone else on the show and thinking she's better. But that's just my opinion. In any event, Cree and Vanessa discuss the fact that Vanessa looks amazing with her new surgery, Sonabella, and Cree starts to discuss some of the things that she's been going through, and she begins to cry. Basically, she has lost 3 very close family members in a short amount of time, and I know how that can be, it can weigh on the spirit. Maybe that's why she shows up the way she shows up. In any event, Vanessa invites her to Brianna's Girls' Day, and although Cree doesn't want to attend, she's going to go because she wants to go with Vanessa. We'll see how that plays out. Ooh, this is another friendship I think is promising. Aaliyah and Denise are shopping. What I like about this is it's 2 married women, 2 women married to young men in the industry, 2 women married to young men in the industry whose fathers were icons in hip hop. And they're having discussions, and I'm not quite sure that we see enough of these type of discussions. Aaliyah is letting Denise know that Easy is gambling. He's coming home late. He's coming home at 4 o'clock, Monday through Friday. And, she sleeps. She's already asleep because she has to get the kids out for 7 a.m. And Denise is like, wow, I'd be very upset. And Aaliyah says, well, what would you tell JoJo? Because when I tell Eric about what he's doing, he tells me it's his money. And, Denise says, I would tell JoJo that we raise these kids together. We pay these bills together. So you have to, do a little better for us. I think that was beautiful to watch between them because, it's very clear to Aaliyah that Easy's not as well-rounded a partner as JoJo is, although JoJo is pulling a few misogynistic moves in the background, putting money down on houses without telling his wife. As a matter of fact, in this meeting with Aaliyah, Denise finds out that JoJo has put money down on a home in LA, and she has no idea, and she's fuming. She's like, oh, I'm finna talk to him. I'm past infuriated. She doesn't let Aaliyah know how mad she is, but it's definitely going to be a discussion between her and her husband. What I want to say is JoJo is doing a good job of showing a family that's not perfect, but perfecting. And I really appreciate the fact that while Aaliyah feels like she can't tell Eric anything because she's a stay-at-home mother and he's the one making the money, Denise doesn't feel the same. She feels like she is a partner in this situation. I really love the friendship budding here. This is a great friendship. It has teeth. And I love the way the relationship between JoJo and his wife is developing. Good job. When Denise does see JoJo, she keeps it cute in front of their daughter, but when they're alone, JoJo's like, what's going on? And she's like, well, and he knows already. He's like, uh-oh. And she lets him know that Aaliyah advised her or informed her that they were purchasing a home, and she was surprised that someone outside of their family would know something before she knew it. I think, JoJo asked her, who told you that? Aaliyah told you that? In his head, I know he's thinking, damn, I can't tell Easy anything. But they start to talk. He's like, wait, let me explain. She's hot. But another thing I think they do well is they pause and they listen to each other. She was upset and she was cutting him off, but eventually he was like, I wanted to surprise you. I know it's a big move, but it's something we need to do for the business. And another thing they do well, she gets vulnerable for her husband, even though she's mad. And she's like, I'm just scared. It's a big move. We have family. I don't want to leave my family behind. They're a big part of helping us take care of these children. So in the end, they discuss it and they agree that there's more for them to discuss. Again, I think they're doing a really good job of showing the complex and nuanced things that happen within a young marriage. I'm not sure if this is a part of their real life or if it's just for TV. Regardless of what, I love to see it. Now it is the day of Bree's girls get together. Who shows up? Aaliyah shows up. Sequoia shows up. Vanessa shows up. Cree shows up. Bree's there. TT shows up. It's off the beaten path, a graffiti building, it's a gauntlet. They're going to play games. There's shots. Vanessa says early, I cannot do shots because I have to leave. My sitter has COVID and I have to go get my daughter. Somehow Cree didn't get this messaging and she's surprised because she's only there for Vanessa. In any event, Brianna says they're going to play a game. She's going to read something. Everyone is going to be a never have I ever spin. So she opens up the game, with never have I ever. Never have I ever gotten into someone else's family business. Cree doesn't take a sip. They all should be taking a sip. Whatever. That's the small potatoes. Vanessa leaves. And they get to talking. TT's like, oh, I didn't get an opportunity to go to the skate party. What happened? Sequoia's like, Lazy showed up. I had a conversation with him. He was uninvited. And everyone's like, well, did you speak to your mom? Sequoia lets it be known that she did speak to her mom. It didn't go well. And she just wishes her mom would do things the right way. Like file the paperwork. Now, I'm going to take a step back because if you've been listening thus far, I stand with Sequoia on this. All the people saying Sequoia's mom is grown. Yeah, Sequoia's mom is grown. However, Aaliyah, who's sitting right next to Sequoia, when she came to talk to Sequoia about her mother dating Lazy, before Sequoia's mother told her she was dating Lazy, the first thing she did was were your parents married? Are they still married? This is conversation that Aaliyah, who was sitting at that table, came to have with Sequoia. Sequoia, by virtue of being on this show, is in the public eye. People talk. Lazy is a hip-hop icon. People talk. Lazy is still married. Sequoia's mom, Tiny, is still married. People are going to talk. And if you're going to defend your mother, you're going to be 10 toes down defending her, regardless of how you feel. You're going to scrap for your mom. So for anyone to take the stance that Sequoia is bugging, they're not thinking about this as the big picture and the fighting she's going to end up doing in defending her mother for her mother doing what her mother feels like doing, her mother being grown. In any event, she just says, I wish my mom would do it right, which would be have your paperwork together so no one's feelings get hurt. Cree's response to this is, are you mad because your parents are not divorced? Is that why you're mad at your mom? Because make it make sense. Was your mom mad at you when you had a child out of wedlock? Skirt. I need to understand Cree's positioning here. It's clear that she doesn't want to be there with these women because Vanessa left. So why didn't you leave with Vanessa? Because not for nothing, ya brighter, ya old ta'ada. How dare you come at this woman at a table with all women? The only one who's married there is Aaliyah. And I'm sure there was a point where her children were out of wedlock. And not for nothing, Cree, didn't you do an interview tour last season whereby you were talking about how many miscarriages you have had as a result of ensuring that you used your choice, your right for your body in the past when it came to having children? And you're not married, so whoever you were having these miscarriages for would have had you as a woman with a child out of wedlock. There was no need to go this deep, this fast, this quick in a place where you were uncomfortable with the people. It's clear that you don't want to be there, and it's disgusting the way you have chosen to engage with Sequoia on this. It's a little disgusting. And not for nothing, y'all, you're listening, you hear me. I'm not a fan of how Cree has presented herself in this instance. I'm just not. TT immediately lets Bree know, like, not Bree, Cree. She's like, your presence bothers me, period. But why do you always show up with something nasty and slick to say? To which Cree responds, your leave out bothers me. Cree can't read. Like, people think she ate with that. She did not. It's all nasty. It's coming across nasty. Again, if you did not want to be here, you should have left with Vanessa. If your goal was to be up under Vanessa, you should have been up under her outside the door. So, Brianna takes a look at the situation, realizes what kind of look it would be for TT to go back and forth with Cree. And she's like, TT, pipe down. Don't say nothing else. I got this. Do you want to be here, Cree? Well, I have a 6:30 appointment reservation. Okay, so you don't want to be here. Then why'd you come? Oh, I came because Vanessa invited me. Okay, I got it. So Brianna is trying to take her time to let her know, like, one, it seems like you have a problem. Not quite sure what that problem is, but when I first entered the group, I had a hard time. I wasn't well received. But Cree ain't for that. Cree is kind of like trying to leave. So she starts, blah, 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 she starts being very immature. I know she's immature. She hops out the room. Brianna's like, why'd you come? And she's like, I'm angry, I'm here. Well, she's like, go. So she hops out, immaturely. She's gone. This is the thing. Did y'all recognize that she left her dog when she hopped her ass on out of there? Aaliyah had to take her dog. On top of that, when Brianna goes to have a discussion with her, she's like, well, first of all, when Aaliyah's talking to her, Miss Spirit, attack her. I'm West Indian, y'all. I get it. If your spirit don't take somebody, don't put your spirit around the person. Don't put your spirit around the people. And this was not about Brianna. It really wasn't. It's about how Cree is nasty. She was only there for Vanessa. And she should have left with Vanessa. But if she was leaving, she should have took her dang dog, right? So, Brianna comes out to, again, reason with her. Like, hey, again, when people speak to me, or when they first received me, it was wrong because I was very direct. And Cree's like, if I want to say something in the discussion, I'm going to say it. What about reading the room, Cree? So finally, Brianna's like, is it that you only came? Why'd you come? You came as a +1 for Vanessa? Okay, check this out. Going forward in the future, when I have an event, regardless of who invites you, you are not invited. And that's where we end. But to me, this was really disgusting. I got to give it to Bree. She's grown a lot. There have been times where I was like, Bree, what you on one right now. But this is not that. Cree believes she's better than everyone except for the Simmons. She wants to be up under the Simmons. But the thing is, the Simmons ain't willing to put time in. She can't be with JoJo like she would like. I'm sure Denise wouldn't be for all of the foolishness in this way. I don't see it for Cree. I'm sorry. It's not. She ain't for me. Miss Spirit, not attack her. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, share.
And see you next time. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subbies. Help!